Hello, and welcome to another episode of Life According to Dana. This week I just wanted to take a couple minutes and talk to you about your struggles having purpose. Everybody goes through struggles in life, everybody. I don't care how together someone looks, or how anointed they look, or how dynamic they appear. Everybody has struggles. And a lot of times, what makes the struggle so isolating is we think that, one, we're the only person going through this. Two, no one else could have possibly gone through this at the level that we're going through it. And that's the trick of the enemy. He wants you to think that you're alone, or that he wants to isolate you so he can really whoop up on you. And we close our mouths a lot of time at the wrong time. We get embarrassed, we get full of pride, whatever you may be experiencing, and you don't want people to know what's going on, mainly because a lot of them are going to judge you or criticize you. And this is why it's so important to have people walking alongside you that give you that judgment free zone. Because if they ever told the truth and shamed the devil, they would have to admit that these things happen to them as well, or are happening to them, mind you. And your struggles have purpose. I'm just what you're looking at in my podcast, Life According to Dana, is part of the purpose of the struggles that I've gone through throughout my life, and that I continue to go through. No, I do not have it all together. Yes, I keep telling you all I've made mistakes along the way. And as long as I'm on this earth, I will. So I don't have the delusion that I arrived or anything like that. No, I am still figuring things out. I am still trying to make sense out of things. But I can tell you this with an assurance, that your struggles have purpose. We go through different things in life, and we really sometimes don't really see the heart of God, or the purpose of the struggle, or why this thing occurred or that thing occurred. And I don't know where the illusion entered into life, where we thought everything was just going to be roses, or it was just going to be okay, and that we would never have any problems, or we would never have any deficits. We would never have any issues. Well, that's just not reality. Everybody has something, that they struggle with, or they're going through. The other day I had the experience of actually looking at one of my old messages from 2009, and I was ministering about um when we have a thorn in our flesh. And we go to God and we ask God to help us with it, and we ask God, could you remove it? And he's sitting there going, "Nope, my grace is sufficient." And I've come to realize over the years that thorn has purpose. That thorn is an equalizer sometimes. It reminds us of our humanity. It reminds us that there's something that's sustaining us that's greater than we are. It reminds us that we have struggles, that we have things that are going on in our lives, that I always say, if it flashed up on the screen, we'd probably run and bury ourselves in a hole, bump anybody else burying us, we do it ourselves. But is there almost as a buffeter, and it buffets you, and it just makes you kind of check yourself. And what it should do is it really should make you slower to judge anybody, because you got something going on too that you don't want people to judge you about. And your struggle, though it is real and it has purpose, it also should help you be a little bit more merciful and kind. You hear me talk about grace and mercy a lot, because it's necessary and it should be applied. I will never forget hearing, God say to me, "To whom much is given, much is required." And I always thought about that one way or the other. But in this context, he was telling me, "I've given you much mercy, and I've extended much grace to you. And that is what I expect from you towards others." So on some of the days when I just want to chop people's heads off, or I just really want to tell them what's on my mind, I'm reminded of that thorn. I'm reminded of my own struggles. I'm reminded that there should be empathy, there should be sympathy towards my brothers and my sisters and humanity overall, because that's what has been given to me. That's what's been extended to me. Much has been given to me, so much is required of me. Much has been given to you, so much is required of you. You may not like this message, you may not like this thought, but it's the truth anyhow. And a lot of times we forget where we came from. I remember just the progression of my life, and where I am right now may not be reflective in some people's minds of where I came from, but to me, it's just reflective of the glory of God that exists in my life, because there is no way in my mind that I could have pieced together the pieces of my life and had an outcome even at the level that it's at. And I know there's so much more to come, but I also understand now, or I'm getting a better understanding, that my struggles in the past helped me get to where I am. I see so many people that are gifted. Oh my goodness. And it's this big push on the prophetic again. And and we find ourselves, surrounded by gifted people, and everybody on YouTube, everybody is on TikTok, everybody is on Instagram and Facebook, and they all declaring they got this word or that word, and and they have absolutely not developed the character to go along with what they're trying to put out there. And there is a requirement that you don't hear a lot of people talk about, but that struggle is going to develop your character. Don't skip the step. Please don't skip steps, because when you skip steps, it shows up in your stuff. You cannot, throw that title. People are throwing titles around. Everybody is an apostle, and everybody is a prophet, and everybody is this and they're that. But your character does not match your title. Your character does not match your gifting. You have not sat under anyone, got any type of tutelage, direction, um, knowledge, nothing. You just out there all willy-nilly corrupting and killing people. And your character, your character your character is so important. Now, I'm not saying that anybody is out here and have not made a mistake. And please get the people off the pedestals that you think have not made mistakes, because that's a lie from the pit of hell. Everybody has made a mistake. The Bible says all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God. That's everybody. Absolute equalizer, right? So your struggles are developing your character. Your struggles are also helping you identify the character of God and those wonderful people around you. So, in your struggles, you'll see who's for you. In your struggles, you may lose some people, but it's with purpose. Your struggles have purpose. Character development, weeding, pruning, whatever you want to call it, is going to help gain some things that you need for the journey. We don't end up the way we start. Thank the Lord. At least that's how I do. I thank God, that I am not the person that you knew 5 years ago. I am so grateful. I am not the person you knew 10 years ago. I am eternally grateful. I am not the doormat, the person that you knew 15 years ago. Nope. She died somewhere along the dusty road, but it's okay, because she kind of, no, she needed to die. So, but it's okay. But that was part of my struggle. And as I said, it had purpose. You know, um, it's it's hard to talk about struggles because nobody really wants to talk about them, but everybody's experiencing them. Experiencing them. It's just like nobody really wants to talk about money, and the need to have financial awareness and knowledge, but everybody needs money and everybody spends money, but nobody wants to talk about it because they're scared you're going to say that's all you about is money. Well, get some knowledge, get some education. You should know your FICA score, and all of that. You should know how to balance this, you should know how to do that. If you don't know, get some knowledge. Plain and simple. It's so much information out on the internet. We almost don't have an excuse not to get knowledge on anything at this point. Don't be lazy about it. Put the time in, get the knowledge, do your homework. If you want to be, I'll use this as an example. If you want to be a homeowner, find out what you need to be a homeowner. How does your credit, fall into place like that? How do the struggles of the past affect your now and your future? What can you do to rectify that? It's all with purpose. And it's just the glory of God to see your plans come, to pass, to see what the struggle was really about. Because see, when you get liberated, you're supposed to reach back and encourage someone else. When you get free, when you get this knowledge, if like I say, if you know me and you spent more than 20 minutes around me, I probably done told you something, because once I get information, I'm going to share that information. I don't hold beneficial information. Now, you tell me your business, I ain't telling nobody. But yeah, it just go in here and it just kind of stay. But when it comes to knowledge that's going to help you move forward, I'm going to share that knowledge. I was in the homeless shelter sharing knowledge. Everything I learned when I was at that shelter, I shared with those ladies that were there. They told me they had never seen that many people leave at the same time. Because if I found out about a free furniture program, the 20 folk that or 20 plus people that was there with me, they knew too. I found out about Belmont, which was a section of Section A. I told everybody. So that's just me, and I understand everyone isn't like that. And we as a people, we as just period, what's wrong with sharing the knowledge? What's wrong with sharing the information? Don't be selfish. Share your struggles. Share what you've experienced. Share the knowledge you gained along the way. Share that information. And that's actually adding purpose to your struggle. That's liberating. Domestic violence. I will share my testimony about being a domestic violence survivor and thriver with my last breath, because I want you to know that you don't have to stay in that situation. You can escape it, you can prosper after it, and you will find a way out if your mind goes to that direction. There are so many agencies that are available. If you need help, ask for help. Don't be afraid. If the first person doesn't give you help, you get dogmatic about it and you keep asking till you find someone to get you out of that situation. Okay. That's my public service announcement for this podcast. But be encouraged. Your struggle has purpose. If it's for nothing else, that somewhere down the road, you'll be able to help someone else, to encourage someone else, to uplift someone else, to take what you've struggled with, to take the things that you've overcome and be able to breathe life back into someone else, to be able to lift them up out of the place that they find themselves, that it'll help you remember, yes, the situation, but you, as you get out of those struggles, you don't remember the intensity of the pain. It's just like childbirth. We all know we had it. We know it was painful, but once the baby comes forth, that pain, you cannot remember the level of pain. All you can say is you remember being in pain, but you can't remember the intensity. You don't feel that same pain, that same level of pain. As you share your struggles, as you share your survival stories, as you share your thriving stories, as you share the purpose of your struggle, not only will it uplift the person you're sharing it with, but it will do something to you. It will cause you to get a a fortitude about you. It will cause a stability to come to you. It will cause a reckoning to come that will help you continue to move forward. That you know you're not supposed to stay in those struggles, that those struggles are temporary. They are just places, they like a speed bump. They just a bump in the road. You don't have to stay there. You can keep moving forward. You can keep your momentum moving. You can keep allowing the struggle to be just that. It was a struggle, but now here's the other part of the story. And share that to encourage someone else. Your struggles have purpose. Thanks for listening. This has been Life According to Dana. I pray you are uplifted and that you are blessed. You have a wonderful day. And just keep learning how to pivot through life's challenges.